Hi everyone. We are talking about posture and patterns of tension today. So a little question for you. What is your posture like? And the follow-up question is, does it matter? And the answer to that follow-up question may well be yes and no. So how you feel about how your posture looks is very personal, and it only really matters that you feel happy with it in terms of how it looks, right? Other people can have their opinions about how we look, but that is their stuff to carry, not ours, right? How your posture makes you feel in terms of comfort and efficient movement versus pain and freedom of movement is another matter. So of course, if you move freely and you have no discomfort in your soma, your living body as you experience it, if all that feels fine to you, then how it looks from the outside really doesn't matter. But usually over time, we start to form habitual postures that we get more or less stuck in. And if they're not optimal, and if we are stuck in them, so we're unable to move freely outside of those postures, then that won't be an optimal posture. We will start to move into discomfort, pain, restricted movement. We don't want that. That really does matter. And anyone who has lived with chronic pain or who gets frustrated by not being able to do the things that they want to do would definitely agree that that is not the path we want to take, right? We don't want to get stuck in postures that hold us in certain positions and stop us doing the things we want to do. So I'm not going to go into massive detail here. I've got another video on this which you can have a look at. I'll link to it below. But in somatic movement, we address postural issues by looking at our patterns of holding muscle tension and learning to recognize that tension and free it up so that we can find more flexible, optimal postures. There is no bad posture. We need all of the ways of moving that our body has evolved to do, but what we do need is to be able to move freely between them in order to be comfortable, in order to do the things we want to do. So just briefly, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the 3 reflexes in somatic movement. So if you were to look in the mirror, what would you see? What is, for example, your habitual standing posture? What do you look like? So maybe you stand up kind of very straight and tall, your chest is sticking out, your shoulders are pulled back, your back is arched, a bit like kind of a soldier on parade, right? And that is what Thomas Hanna, the creator of somatic movement, called the green light reflex. It is our reflex of taking action, gotta get things done, go, go, go. I think we're all familiar with that. We all probably live quite full lives, right? Or maybe your shoulders are a bit rounded forwards, your chin sticks out a bit, everything feels a bit kind of pulled in or collapsed in the centre. And this is the red light reflex. This is the sort of protective, stop everything, stay safe reflex. Or you might be looking in the mirror and you notice that you have some left to right differences. So maybe one arm, one shoulder hangs a bit lower. Maybe your head's kind of a little bit off centre. Maybe one foot is more turned out than the other if you look down at your feet on the floor. And this is what's known as the trauma reflex or the one-sided reflex. And it's about those differences that happen left to right, maybe due to an accident, but can be just to do with, you know, we're left-handed or we're right-handed, or we have a preference for different activities. We have one-sided hobbies, that sort of thing. You might also look in the mirror and say, oh, but I've got this element of that reflex, but that element of the other reflex. Most of us are a little bit of a combination of the 3 reflexes. And even if when we look in the mirror, our posture looks great, whatever that might mean, but we're still experiencing restricted movement or pain, that might mean that we have kind of all-round muscle tension, but it is balanced. Yay! So for example, if you have tension in both the front of the body and the back of the body, that is going to hold you like sort of visually quite sort of straight and tall, right? But the muscle tension is still there. Muscles are working very hard. They're restricting our movement and potentially causing discomfort or pain, right? So even if we look great in the mirror, if we're still experiencing the symptoms of muscle tension, pain, lack of movement, it may be that we've got tension sort of everywhere. Don't worry, somatics can help. So when we're thinking of posture in terms of somatic movement, rather than just focusing on what the mirror reveals when we look into it, or, you know, any other external perception of our body, how other people see us, right? What we're really looking to learn about is what we sense on the inside, so that we can start to notice where we hold muscle tension. Then we can learn the techniques to release it and come back to more balance, more flexibility and freedom and comfort in our postures and our movement. The fact that we might then see improvements, again, whatever that means, from the outside, looking in the mirror, compliments from other people, whatever it might be, the fact that we might see those improvements from the outside is just a bonus, right? And it doesn't tell the whole story. So the invitation for today is to ponder your posture. No judgment, noticing what's there. And what does your posture tell you? You are the expert in your soma. What does your posture tell you about the muscle tension that you might be holding? If you need more help with this, you know where I am. You can get in touch, book a one-to-one session, join our membership. We've got a wealth of recorded materials. You can join live group classes. Get started and see what you can do to improve your posture. Have fun exploring. Let me know how you get on, and I'll see you in the next video.